Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vamp. As you heard, I'm also from the Ticket Bitcoin community, which is supporting, of course, MemeCon. And I'm very happy to hear you because I'm going to have questions for you too later and my great team here. So, we're going to talk about meme lore. We heard about technical parts, how to build up a meme coin, the general stuff from outside, from noise. But what is happening in the insides? How we entertain the people itself? What is actually the fruit going out? Because even if we like draw a picture, if the artist of one coin is going out, he has an idea. Like, where does it come from? Why would he put a line on a browser? Because today I have the official Raya ambassador here. We have the Solana Strategic Reserve. We have Brave. And we have Shitcoin. And before I talk too much, I wish that you actually present yourself to the people. And what are you doing here?
Sure, I'm AJ.
I barely
I'm
need that.
I'm AJ. I am with Shitcoin, and we did a community takeover about 3 weeks ago when the original dev tried dragging the project. Is that enough, or would you like more information?
I meant like to hear out, not just. It's literally
It's
shitcoin.
literally a shit coming
It's
out
not
of it.
just a shitcoin, it's named shitcoin. So I think this is pretty bullish.
Yeah. And we can go more into. I can go more into it if you like.
If
Yeah,
you
so
think.
so shitcoin was developed by, and I think this goes on a lot in the industry today. There's a lot of projects, as we know, and only a very small percentage survive. And I think there's a lot of people out there who have great ideas but don't are not visionaries, right? And I think the meme coin space proves that. We had a dev who had an awesome idea. It was so awesome that I believe he was like one of the first people to put his face and his real name to a project, and that's kind of unheard of in the meme space, right? And it attracted a lot of people in the community, and they bought into it. He rallied the market cap up to 6.2 million in a week and a half. But then all the red flags were there, right? There was an invite from you guys from a MemeCon to come and join, and Solana conference in New York, which he accepted none of them. And at that point, I think we should have seen the red flags, but we didn't because we were blinded by the vision that he had set. And then suddenly on a Friday, he decided to pull the plug and abandon the project. And since then, he's actually launched 4 other versions of shitcoin, which he rugged as well. But it was an opportunity to step in and do a community takeover.
I wanted
Um,
just to ask, so it's adding meanwhile a CTO actually.
yes, it's a
Yeah.
very successful CTO. I'm saying so far. Yeah,
Yeah, great.
thank you.
Then the
You.
lion.
My name is Guilherme Pantoja, and I'm with Brave. And since the launch of the token in 2017, we have been seeing the space just grow and transform over the years. And for the past 5 years or so, we started seeing more presence of memes in the space and the growing, of course, of Bitcoin. And then we started just merging into that world and started looking for advertising opportunities and seeing the growth of them, the growth of their communities, and the presence that they had in the space was just an interesting thing to see throughout the years. And looking at things that are the way they are now versus 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, it just transformed so much, and it's quite mesmerizing to see. And now me dressing as a lion is something that's probably would be outrageous 5 years ago, and now it's just something that has become part of the norm.
No, definitely. I know Brave browser for a while now, so even my husband is using it, not even in crypto. I think it's enough if one part of the relationship is in crypto, you're not gonna get broke. Please.
Beautiful. So, hey guys, I'm representing the Solana Strategic Reserve. My name is Ron, or JRA, whatever you prefer. So, what's the Strategic Solana Reserve? Is basically it was a mistake, right? It was launched as a test of the Pump Fund ecosystem, right? And what happened was that it was launched by Enigma out of Enigma Fund, and his wallet apparently was doxed. So it kind of generated about $28 million in volume in the first 24 hours. So like we kinda had to run with it, right? That was the bummer. But yeah, he had $1 million in his wallet because he threw 5 Sol at it. on Pump.Fun. Apparently, that gives you a lot of the market cap and percentage, right? And here we are today. Like, we ran with it. We created this amazing lore behind it. We created the mascot that's an eagle, which is kind of rare in the space. Got a lot of animals, but our strategy is kind of like our angle is to make animals great again, right? And deport the illegal animals out of the Solana ecosystem, and deport the ruggers and everything like that. And we formed the egalitarian community around that. And yeah, of course, like any token in the beginning of this year, we got completely wrecked after Trump launched his coin, and then Melania, and then you know the story, right? We don't need to circle the drain here, but basically what happened is that we didn't sell a single token.
I mean, it's a
And
reserve. It should help.
it should reserve the tokens. Very well said. So yeah, we're here to this day. We continue building. We went down to like 300K market cap. We're back up at like 1.3, I think, something like that. We 5x'd 2 weeks ago, and the team is working hard, and the team's here.
Beautiful. Rio.
Thank you. I love how I pronounce my name. It's actually Yuri. Guys, I am Yuri. I'm Belgian, now living in Portugal, having a podcast. People recognize me with my Belgian accent. And actually, Brave, Luke Mulks, was a guest on my podcast. And who was also a guest on the podcast? Rio. I'm presenting Rio today. So I had first CoinDesk as my sponsor, and then Rio came on the show, and I said, Rio, what is Rio? It's a coin from Japan. It's an ecosystem from Japan. Now they have a meme coin, and you say, how do they come on my
I
show?
also saw like little Rio-chan, the dog.
Yeah,
Yes,
Rio Chan, exactly. But you know how it goes. I said meme coins, and before Rio, what will that be? But then they said, Yuri, we are in Toronto. We are, sponsoring the Futurist Blockchain Futures Conference. We are the main sponsor, main stage. Come and do our panel, moderate our panel. But I said, I just moved to Lisbon. I'm moving to Lisbon. My girlfriend will not be happy that I need to go to Toronto. And I said to my girlfriend, oh, honey, there is an opportunity to go. You are not letting me here alone, she said. And then so I made it work, guys. So I was in Toronto. I met the founders. I met the whole people behind Rio. And I was a bit like, okay, this is a really, wow, passionate project. I love it. And now what is Rio about? So they are building an whole ecosystem in Japan. We don't hear about it. It's very regulated. You don't have a lot of information, but I'm here. And what is now the Rio? The Rio meme token, Rio-chan. Well, actually, it's built on the samurai spirit. Think samurai, think of courage, think of honor, think of yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And you see my T-shirt, but also compassion. And so actually it's a meme token. We heard it, or we heard it already. There is no utility for tokens. Well, Rio-chan has utility. We come back to that later, but it has utility. Rio-chan is actually a fighter, like the samurai against scams. So everyone getting into Rio-chan has access to a a scam detection solution for when they invest in Rio. And
Yeah,
now
I
will
would
shut
like
up.
that. A samurai fighting for my right against rugs. That would be great. I love that. So let's tap in because I want to actually know what is meme lore and why does it actually matter in the long-term success of a meme coin? We want to start again from this row?
Sure. So I think it's a good one. Like meme lore to me is the backstory, right? That's what lore means, and I think yeah, you have all sorts of types of lore in different types of tokens, right? And there's no single recipe of success to me. Like you can have zero lore and be crazy successful as a coin. I think, for example, Dogecoin, right, is or was at the beginning, but it still is like super shallow. It's a JPEG of a freaking dog from the internet, right?
But this is already lore. If you
That,
say without lore, you're this is the boundary area. Or we
mm,
say it has no lore. Yeah, but where does it come from? Is it something already existing? Then it has already lore. It's there.
to me, it's kind of like how hard you try. Like if you're trying hard to create lore, like I think you can get on the deeper side. For example, on SSR side, we created a mascot, Baron Trump Feather, that deports illegal animals out of Solana, and does this and does that, you know. And we have videos like of the guy deporting Hawk Tua, right, and stuff like that. Um, like I think that's on the try hard side, and we're like continuously creating stories and narratives around that. Whereas if you have like a picture of a dog or something like that, it can work out just fine, right? There's again no recipe of success. But I think there's two ways to go about meme lore, and that's the kind of the 2 points I wanted to start digging into. Yeah.
How much has Brave to do with MEMELORE as a good browser? I mean, you step into the
Well,
Cosmic Fair too. It's not that you're
regarding Brave,
left
I
out.
cannot speak in their regard, but I can say personally, meme lore, the way that I see it, is just a part of internet culture. It's just something that you either have to be there or you will not be able to experience it fully.
Ah, someone did his homework, I see.
We were talking about this yesterday, actually, about Bitcoin, and how it came to be, and about all the lore about Bitcoin and the things that I was just missing out. And it truly, it's one of those things that you either are there to experience it fully, or you're gonna miss out on the key details and not fully understand it. And we have been seeing this, throughout the years. Like Octua eventually be one of those things. And so we had Christian, we had Boxy, we had many other things throughout the internet. And now with the creation of memes as an asset, we get to see their full experiment. And sometimes the lore that does appear and constitute a part of their personality. We just had Honey Badger, for example. Now we have Bitcoin, and we have so many others that have their own very intimate lore and stories. And it's one of those things. Again, you have to be really a part of it, otherwise you'll not be able to fully experience it.
Shitcoin.
Um, yeah, I think you guys summarized what lore is generally in the meme space. Um, but specifically what it means to me, I think lore is something that develops and evolves as a project grows. What the lore was for our project when it started is very different to what it is today. What it is today is everything that we've been through, all the shit that we've been through. It defines our character. It makes us who we are. Same thing as what defines us as individuals in life, right? All the shit that we go through, it takes years, right? I'm 51, so who I am today has taken 51 years to develop. But I think for a project or a token and the community, their lore is what they've been through, the challenges that they've had, what they've had to overcome as a community and grow. And I think that's different for each project. But yeah, generally speaking, I think you guys covered that quite well. Thank you.
Very similar thoughts. Do we have agreement here too?
Yeah, I agree with that. And actually, it's all about storytelling, about the narrative, about Rio. I mentioned this, Japan, Mystic. I mentioned, the samurai. But there is also Rio. Actually, before there was the yen in Japan, they had the gold standard, right? And then Rio was like the gold coin at that moment. And then they have been building now for 7 years on the Rio ecosystem, because it's not only a token, there is also ATMs, there is also an whole mall. So their vision, their narrative, their whole passion of the founders is to have crypto for the masses. That your grandmother can use crypto to buy stuff, that she can understand it. And yeah, that's the Rio coin narrative.
Yeah, we scratched actually already on the next question because I like what every one of you said. It's long term. And this also means it has already old history. Even before Bitcoin, there had been memes and this had lore. So we're not talking just about on chain. There's like a whole evolvement with internet culture in it. And a lot of people forget actually that someone like me, for example, I hang out there every day. This is why meme lore is actually so important to me. Meme lore is there that you can keep yourself busy. You want to dive into, you want to add to, yeah, you want to be part of something. It's also like the coming out of tribalism we feel here. Everyone wants to belong somewhere in the whole world. So we said already it's not easy actually to intentionally bring out a meme or meme lore. But I think I might go in that direction a bit 50-50 because at some point, I mean, with Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu, we have the backpack. For everyone who doesn't know, it's everything based on a backpack that was posted on 4chan. And this backpack was a Chinese misprint in a market in the Netherlands. And they just put like famous stuff on it. So it was literally Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu later going on. And you have already a lot of material to build there. Yeah, we have so many aspects. We have Obama, Harry Potter, Sonic topic, everything, even the Inu, the whole number system with the 10. So there's a lot there. But what is reaching over is actually what happens in the Telegram. If you have an active Telegram or a Discord or whatever community you choose, even the X communities, everything there, it's interesting because I missed the line now. I'm so sorry. No, these people bring up new lore. There's actually, did you know that Ticket Bitcoin owns the body of Ben Affleck? Yeah, we do. So what choice actually of blockchain of layer 2, may it be Ethereum or Base, whatever, how do you think it's affecting the meme lore itself by choosing the right blockchain?
Yeah, I will I'll directly say why they took Solana at Riot Chan, because we're talking about fighters. Fighters needs to be agile, needs
Yeah,
to
the
be fast, needs to be
degens.
so Solana. Now positive.
Well, yeah, Solana, strategic Solana reserve, so that's easy for me. No, actually, I think it's you have to pick your battleground a little bit, right? And like as you're launching, you kind of need to understand what's this niche that I'm addressing here, and like both all chains I think have their pros and cons. Like one of the last panelists spoke about like Base versus Solana and stuff like that. I think they both have their strengths. Like for example, for Base, I would go for Base for longevity, right? For maybe less rugs per second, RPS. Just make that up. As Solana, it's obviously more value extraction kind of like mentality and a bit more PvP-ish, right? And so on and so forth. So I think it's very important to choose your battleground and who you vibe with as well, because at the end of the day, dude, if this was not supposed to be fun and vibe based, like let's just do stocks. You know, let's go back to fucking stocks like our parents did, and just forget about it. So I think like Solana, for all its faults, I think it's a great fucking place. It's like we have tons and tons of fun. It's super degenerate and yeah, thank God for Pump Fun. To be honest, like I think it was a net positive into Web3 in general.
Yeah, there's definitely an
And
upside
yeah,
to that. We
yeah,
cannot
and
overshadow everything about that. Like, there's also a very good part. It's like always the
absolutely,
choice of the people. This is what people forget. If there's a tool brought out, even if you bundle something, it actually has a reason why you're able to bundle something. It doesn't mean you should rug
100%,
everything.
Right.
100%. And yeah, just to tie back to the meme lore and what AJ said before, I think like the struggles are actually like the struggles that a project goes through also build into that lore as well, right? It's not something that you have to build actively. Something that like yeah, market crash happens to you, and then or the dev rugged and the community CTO'd, or you know like there's tons of meme lore connected to like fog, for example, where like the designer didn't get paid, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That adds to the lore, and that's what kind of drives into the price action afterwards in the future. So there's
Happening
the
through the
struggles, right?
time.
The
Exactly.
fights, all the dips and the crashes, and still being there. I think it's
What
key.
does our dear brave lion say to that?
Oh, sorry. No worries.
It's a bit mad choice for you because you're the browser guy here, but
Do you have a browser?
huh?
Do you have a browser?
No, I mean you.
Oh, so throughout the years, we saw a big shift. Initially, was mostly all about Ethereum. That's where people would go to build their utility at their platforms at, and most transactions used to be in Ethereum. And we got to see a major shift when Solana showed and started doing things in a more affordable manner in a way that just worked. Because before that, we had Cardano, we had Polkadot, we had all of these other platforms and blockchains that were mostly just a proposal. They weren't fully ready to receive these transactions, nor these major user base. So we just used Ethereum until something arrived. And in 2021, I believe that's when Brave partnered with Solana and made a huge shift to start transacting directly on Solana, which we now do today. Um, through on-chain rewards, which basically just means you don't have to go through a custodian. You can self-custody your own rewards that you get through the browser by seeing advertisement. So these major shifts allowed for many other projects to create and build on top of the platform. Many dApps started creating that way, and those then allowed for projects to just start, and then meme coins start, and we saw like a huge flood just coming in of many coins and tokens just appearing on the market. And that was very interesting to see, but at the same time it was a little bit alarming. That's probably the point when he said that we would all return to stocks. And it's like I said, I've been saying it often, over and over again. It's been very interesting to see, and it makes me wonder about the future. But at the same time, it seems like a natural course for things, where things just get more easily accessible for many people, and that leads to just people wanting to have fun with projects.
Yeah, you still want to feel close in either way. Like even if you're just not looking at it the whole time, not being
Yeah.
such a big part of the community, you still want to be like you want to feel like your essence, the personal essence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I know.
like even like then you have to think of what defines a meme, and then you have projects like Pizza DAO, for example. Then it's just like we all get together and order some pizzas and we'll talk about crypto, and that ended up becoming a huge thing. And it's just really cool to see the many things that come around, and it's just not directly meme coins, but all these other projects that bring utility just in fun manners and fun ways, for all these new audience that does help to grow the space and just overall the fun in the space. And I'll just add, because I mentioned Pizza DAO, and I have to, otherwise my bosses will murder me, that we did advertise Pizza DAO on our Brave browser, and they went from 17 users daily to a spike of 60,000, which was just a really cool thing to see. And at the same time, we're running a meme coin program, and we did get to advertise Woofy, and just many other at the time. It was pretty interesting to see, and just getting these things into more of a normie standard just made it the whole thing grow.
AJ, what is the best choice here?
So I've been in crypto for about eight years, but just started in the meme space in January this year. Um, 6 months, but you know how much you can learn in 6 months in this space.
It's 1 year in real life,
Yes,
so
yeah. So I didn't choose where shitcoin was deployed, and it was on Solana, and it's a great place to be. It's fun. But JR, just going back to what you said, just the one word that you said, it's got to be fun. So for me, I think the what chain it's on does matter in terms of the community that you initially want to address, but that shouldn't stop you if you want to choose Base or Sui or Solana, Ethereum. So be it. It's all about the ability to grow your community, right, and keep them connected and keep them coming back for more. So I think the chain that it's on is irrelevant. It's all about the fun and community.
I disagree.
That's okay.
I disagree completely because we literally have the Solana strategic reserve here. And if that wouldn't be first on Solana, it would be like, came it from base?
Especially if it was called Solana Special Reserve on base. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I see why you disagree. Solana is by far the best today. It's the most fun place
I disagree here.
in my opinion, it's the most fun place to be. It's being in the trenches is completely different to trading or investing in the retail space with altcoins and Bitcoin and stuff. And it's real, it's raw. You feel what your community is feeling every minute of the day. You get direct input from them. And if they don't like it, you're gonna hear it. As opposed to if you go onto the altcoin space or Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? If you've got a gripe with how that product is running, it doesn't matter if you raise your hand or not. Nobody's listening. It's too big. I love the impact that individuals can have in a community in the meme space, and it's powerful, right? Everybody has a voice. To me, that's what makes it fun.
That sounds good.
So we're
Yeah.
seeing real life utility too.
Exactly.
Can
Yes.
you read
Yes.
over so everyone can hear? Say it again, please. I didn't hear.
It's where we started seeing real life utility as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that sounds really great. So I think personally, it actually maybe is a reason where you want to start, at what chain you want to start, depending maybe.
Yeah.
I may agree that at some point it's actually unreasonable where it is, like they just buy it because they want to have the product. It says like the meme coin itself. They don't really care in the end. This is just like the screaming from the other sides at one point. Why would we not buy it on Solana if you're on Ethereum? So you
Just on that
gotta,
point, I think people forget that every token is a product, right?
yes.
Just like everything else in the world we've ever experienced, right? You could have the best, shiniest thing in the world, and it's if you don't market it right, if you don't get the attention of a big audience, it's nothing. You can shelve it, right? How many times have you guys gone on
It's ending
Instagram?
in the data void.
Right,
It's
and
just
you've bought something that just looks great. They've just marketed it, and it arrives, and the packaging is horrible, and it's flimsy, and it doesn't work. Right, same with
Doesn't fit.
tokens as well.
Yeah.
Right, it's
this is good that you say that because just gonna squeeze my question in it because this is like
okay.
also to that topic. Why do you think sometimes it feels that a meme coin got discovered and one who literally launched? Because sometimes it happens that you find a coin after 1 year and you never fucking heard of it, and your friends neither. You have no idea it's existing, but at some point, if you have another project, and there can be even completely new. And I know it can depend on KOLs, for example, who would speak for the launch. This is something what influences it. But what actually is here the thing? Why do you think it feels like it's some are discovered and some are launched?
Yeah, in the case of Rio, it's really clear because there are regulations in Japan. There, Rio is really well known by people. It's also a real specific audience, like 40, 50, 6 years old, are buying it, are keeping it. It's a long time project. But in Europe, in the US, nobody heard about it. So how can you make
You didn't
create
even make it
trust? So
overseas, yeah.
people, they came on my podcast, we went there, we talked about it, we just you meet the people behind the project. You see the founders on stage. They are approachable. You can talk to them. And so this creates people start to talk about it. And so this creates, of course, the buzz, which can then go further. Like when it's artificially created, I don't think it's always the best, like one KOL or you heard something. In this case, it's a real project. It's a story. They have certificates. They are because of the regulations, which can be a bad thing. In their case, it's a good thing because it creates a trust. And they are building their community there in Japan, which is called now Rayonins. And so yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, I know because you need to have the create a community also from in the beginning, before you launch this meme token. They already had the community. And now the Rionins are the people that, go in first in this meme token. Yeah, yeah, right.
Do you guys think in the long term there is needed meme lore? If even if it's like not forced, made by community, that someone is looking into it and keeping it aligned, like naming it, this is something what we like to have in our law, so it's spreading. Sometimes it just happens. People post like the same meme overall and they know, oh, this is from that community. But at some point, what does the reserve say?
Yeah, I can take that one in the sense that I think you need meme lore in the short, in the medium, and the long term. If you're not a straight up cabal coin, and you're guaranteed price action and you're guaranteed up only, right? I think you need meme lore necessarily, right, to maintain any sort of success in the long run. And again, we talked about fun. Don't want to circle the drain, but you kind of need lore for it to be slightly fun, right? But at the end of the day, to drive price action and drive attention, this is an attention economy. You got to be loud. You got to be out there. And we also touched a bit on community, and I think that's absolutely essential. But just to go back to your point, like meme lore is always going to be an absolute necessity unless you're guaranteed success in other ways, right? And like cabals and stuff like that.
Shitcoin. Is that stinky for shitcoin, or
Sorry.
is meme lore planning big stinky for shitcoin, or
No, I think it's really important. I think law is like with businesses, right? They have their values, right? Like your families have their fundamental beliefs, your culture and religion, whatever it is you believe in. you tie yourself, you attach yourself to the values of that project or that community, whatever it is. So I think if the law dies, I think ultimately the community will die.
Do you guys think lore will die? Nah.
Well, law is I think it's different for each product, for each project, right? I
Definitely.
think
I'm just calling lore, like just the lore itself. Meme core itself. This is never happening that this
I
is
don't think
disappearing.
meme law is going to die, but I
No.
think projects have the ability to kill their law individually.
Definitely. So, what is actually your favorite meme lore from each ticket? You can choose. It can be your favorite coin, it can be your less favorite coin, but it has actually good meme lore.
XRP.
Uh-huh.
This is my favorite meme coin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting
It's
meme
like,
coin chain.
did you have that? Doesn't everyone have like this corporate buddy who's shilling you XRPs for like 10 years and he's promising like, dude, BlackRock is in it, dude. Like, you gotta buy in. Dude, I've been hearing this shit for the past
Do we trust
for
Ripple?
the past 20 years about Ripple, you know,
Do we trust Ripple?
it's a meme. It's got a lot of lore that like, yeah, my corporate friends love it.
Rio?
Yeah, of course, Rio. But I like the expertise. I no, I like this. I like this. I don't know, you guys. Where do you get your information from? I sometimes look, and it's crazy, it's funny, but I look on TikTok, and if you see on TikTok, you have these XRP like guys that are against, or you like really, talking in positive talks. So that is really interesting to look to watch that. Yeah, but of course.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to hog the mic. But SSR, I have to, Rio
That's
and
very
SSR.
rude.
That's my favorite meme coin.
Do you wanna sit on his lap maybe and talk?
Oh, but it just said that Rio is his favorite meme token. So, but
Yes.
but, be sh- but the thing is, with all
Oh,
these
let the loves alone.
with all these scams these days, if you look for on Google for Rio, be sure you come on the right Rio token. So best is if you are interested, check my Twitter. I have the link in there because as it is nowadays, you cannot be careful enough when you look for coins, right?
Okay, what is your Twitter? How should people find you?
That's my name, Yuri Bilas.
So you see,
There
if
is
you
one-
wanna
yeah,
connect,
so
wanna look it
that's-
up.
Yeah, make friends. Like we are already friends just by being on the panel. So yeah.
AJ, what is your favorite meme lore?
Well, I've got to say shitcoin, obviously, for everything we stand for. But I do want to go back to something that really appealed to me early on this year, which was Vine. I thought their law was fantastic, and it had a sense of utility, a promise of utility behind it, and an app, and a whole new system of delivering, bringing back Vine 6-second clips again. I was really bought into that. But hey, there's plenty. I like seeing new things. I think recently, I really enjoy the content and from Fat Fella season. I'd like to see more stuff like that. Not necessarily. I think that got quite boring, but I think there is a place for more content driven tokens out there. And I'm excited to see how as AI develops, what that content will look like. But yeah, if you're going to ask me, it's going to be shitcoin. I think our law, what we stand for, bringing in communities and individuals that have been rugged, have been burned, and want to join a project where we've got nothing to hide. We're transparent. There's a face, a voice, and a real name to the project. And I'd like to see more meme projects doing that actually, becoming real, as opposed to standing behind an icon.
Actually, we have something cooking right now. We're creating a TG bot,
He's
an X
so
bot.
rude again, isn't
So-
he?
What? Did I interrupt? Did I cut off anyone? Sorry. No, we were creating a TG and X bot to bring our mascot to life, right? Using proprietary AI. So yeah, just to the point of like bringing stuff to life, actually,
Yeah.
right? And people can get in there and talk to our mascot, you know, exactly like that, but AI. So the robotic.
Exciting.
Let me do the same to him.
They start fighting now for the
Because
microphones. Can we have more microphones? I think they're gonna step themselves from the chair.
yeah, it's like like the samurai, right? We are fighting like yeah. Like but that I did.
Deviants.
I mentioned in the beginning that Rio has utility. Well, this is a kind of the utility to detect scams because of an AI system that detects, that looks at the smart contracts. They have a portfolio management system. Of course, all of that is value that you get out of it. Yeah.
I have a bunch of friends working on projects that I know haven't been done. I'm excited to see them. I think the advancement of AI is going to allow us to see new projects with new ideas and new attractions that have never
I
been
mean,
seen
there's
before.
a big vibe going on. Had been a lot of meme coins outstanding from the IA
Yeah.
era, so it's not just all shit. And I found it very interesting that even the terminals started to have their own madness brain and were actually able to create an ecosystem, and which is completely meme based. Also, there's like a lot of projects out of there who try to actually push through that and continue with that. And I think this is the same as memes had been new a few years ago. This is also new now. It needs to calm down again. It had a huge hype. It went down. Now some people even disappeared, but I think everything will get its balance. And I think it's actually cool. I like it if they try to bring it on you and not just saying we are another AI. Like who wants that? Nobody is like, do you want another AI? Do you? I don't know. So I cannot ask everyone, but okay, listen, guys, there's now a question for you. I want to have everyone at once. You're gonna tell me the ticker of your favorite meme lore. I'm gonna count and you're gonna say the ticker, everyone at once. So I'm gonna hear it. I can hear every one of you. One, two, three. This is not at the same time, but thank you for participating. So many people. So,
What about my favorite meme lore?
huh?
What about my favorite meme lore?
I just wanted to ask. Like coming back to you.
Getting the
Yeah.
overcaffeinated vibes from design.
Yeah. Do I have to mislead the dear people who are listening? Do you want to?
But it's the same. It's the Bitcoin.
No,
Yeah.
because you're the line, right? Do you know who has the crown on his head? It's me.
Well, you may be the queen, but I'm the king. The king of the jungle now. Terrible. Let him on land.
You're gonna
But mine
marry
is
me
Bitcoin,
first.
and you have the coolest merch.
This guy's brave. Sorry about that.
This guy is good, huh? With his joke.
So we know now you're all big into shitcoin meme lore, not just like the meme coins itself, but there's something spreading out of it. If we hear whack me, if we hear hodl, if we hear words like that, this is actually slang coming from ticker, not from ticket Bitcoin itself, like from tickets itself. It has new words adapting as new memes and new lore is built up. So I want to know, do you have slang? Because we have a lot of slang in ticket Bitcoin. I mean, we also own the body of Ben Affleck, so of course we're gonna have that. Do you know, guys, actually the ticker is Bitcoin? The ticker you're asking the whole time, ticker itself, the phrase came from ticker Bitcoin. A lot of people don't know that. It had its first reach with ETH, but it got blown up actually with Ticker Bitcoin. And I'm not hating for other people using this now. I actually like if you remember it. That's the only thing what's keeping the lore alive. It's history. So some of these points shouldn't be ignored. So maybe you tell the people, how do you communicate in your coin? Is there something like that?
I haven't thought about that actually.
Mm.
I guess we're used to using the names and the abbreviations that have been formed and
Yeah,
just
we have.
happen in the industry. I actually I try and avoid words like hodl and buy and especially with young projects and then the one that I'm in, it's just literally about community. I start with community. I don't talk about price. I don't talk about market cap. It's only about building community at this point. And I'm assuming that as you grow and you guys probably have more experience, that doesn't change because you don't stop growing that community, right? It's always about reaching out to more people, getting more people to understand what you're bringing to the table, what this community is about. So yeah, I think if you focus on the community, everything else will just come.
How is it with Brave? Do you have certain sentences? For example, Ticket Bitcoin always says never coom, what means don't sell.
Not really. One thing that has been like an issue for a real long time within the community is that BAT stands for Basic Attention Token instead of Brave Attention Token. because there's meant to be a separation between the Brave as a product, as a browser, and the things that basic attention token can actually do.
Yeah, but even at Brave itself, you could have, if you bring something new up, for example, a new tool, anything, an add-on, whatever. There's some even from the company maybe presented something as a new language, what's getting adapted. So I don't know if you have been very pump-pilled, for example, when you use pump fun. There's like phrases who got brought up. Like, does Brave something have like that?
I didn't quite understand the question. Apologies. Stay brave, baby. That's
Yeah,
funny now. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
that's exactly what I wanted
Okay,
to
yeah.
hear. What is with the reserve?
So I don't think we have a lot of slang, but yeah, we have slogans, right? Our one of our slogans is "Make animals great again." Obviously, we have like our motto is "Hodl infinitum." It's like a Latin, it goes back to the Romans. They said "Hodl." You can check that later on ChatGPT. No, just kidding. Don't do that. They didn't. But it's "Hodl infinitum." It's not actually slang, but it's like a community thing. It's a slogan.
Nice, I like that.
So yeah, Rio has, of course, its slogans too, like crypto for the masses, things like that, like with the samurai, talking about specific slang. Maybe it's in Japanese and I don't know about it, so that I would need to check out. But it's a good question. I will get back to that. Maybe that's also a good post or a good podcast episode. Maybe. Thanks.
It's interesting. I thought there would be more language. No, it's actually very adaptive because the thing is, if you see it like on the timeline, for example, there's something going on. Everyone is saying the same thing. Why? You want the people to have the question. This is why there are so many communities like to be more mythical. They speak in tongues,
I think what you're asking is, I think slogans are very different from abbreviated
but it
words,
can adapt.
right?
You continue to say it,
Yes. If you continue to
and
say your
it's so
slogan, it
it's
becomes part
language.
of your story, right? And I guess sometimes that can be borrowed by other communities as well. And that has to be how the word hodl and ticker started. It started off with one thing, and then other communities borrowed it. So yes, I guess in that respect, slogans are important.
I
Yeah.
think too. Yeah. It's not just the slogans itself. I mean,
Yeah.
someone from the community can bring something up, something funny can happen. And they say, I don't know, they maybe even have like a new national day.
Yeah.
This can,
Shitcoin Day.
yeah, see. The birthdays of
National
the
Shitcoin
coins,
Day.
the birthday of your coins normally
Absolutely.
have great new names.
Yeah.
Like President Cheese, I don't know. Everything has new day. NFT mint day, they're gonna have birthday again. Everything what's on it, so we can celebrate birthdays. Yes.
Absolutely. I want a shit reserve. I want a shit reserve. An official shit reserve. Absolutely. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, networking on stage. I love that. We had that before. The magic
Yeah.
of keeping going. No, that's great. So you already said that some people don't tap too much in it and some people are more open. I just put myself as an example. I'm fully doxed. And I believe also that Ticket Bitcoin is one of the coins who has like the most doxed people. But this is not always the case for coins. Why do you think could it be a good reason to have anonymity or pseudonymity in meme lore? There are a lot of complete communities who say doxing is not cool.
As I can speak for my project, it's not my project, but the Rio project. You can see everything on their website. Go to Rio, the founders, everything. But it's all about trust, and they are for crypto for the masses, not for the blockchain community.
Yeah,
So
because
if it's
you want to trust the people. Sometimes
right,
I'm questioning myself, if I don't know any one of you, who should I trust?
but also, if you're not inside the blockchain community and then you're in Web2 and say, why is everyone like, you don't know who these people are. So if you want to build a trust and you want to really, you know, involve the masses, people for the masses, you need to see who those people are. The same, yeah, that's what I feel about it.
Well, I think it's about respect, right? I think you have to respect people's boundaries up until a certain point. I respect people that are undoxed. I'm kind of like in the middle. I don't know. I don't gonna go put myself out there too much. But like people get to know you as well, right? And there's a trust scenario, definitely. I think that's the big part of it. You don't need to be like fully KYC'd and totally doxed and people knowing your bank account for people to ape into your project, right? So from that point, like we don't have the regulations like the as the stock market does. So I mean, I think we'll get there eventually because there'll be more and more barriers coming from sexes, coming from wherever to KYC and doxa teams. But and I think it's important, right? It's healthy and it's sane. Like people want to know who to point fingers when shit goes wrong, right? Because they're putting your money into your project and you're just a BFP and a fucking random number or name rather. But I think it's important as well to respect people's boundaries and shit like that. So I totally respect people who want to remain undoxed. Like the founder of Solana of the SSR, Enigma, out of Enigma Fund, the name, right? Obviously, it's a VC fund, and he's not doxed at all. So yeah, I totally respect that. But in like in the years that has been on this space, he's built a reputation that manages to capture trust while remaining undoxed, right? And having like a thriving VC fund and an advisory practice on the back of everything else that we're doing, right? So I think that's my take on it.
Lion G, what do we think? Should we stay anon
Well,
or not?
working with Brave, privacy is a very sensitive topic, and it's something that we value very much, and we put as our highest priority when talking about navigating the internet is the user's privacy. It's the thing that comes first. So right now, for example, I'm replacing Mr. Pattern, who is not fully doxed, so it chooses not to be here because it's face fronting. While I have the choice of being face fronting, and I'm here in his place. So overall, it's like Jean said, it's about respect. It's about one's choice. But I believe that that person is allowed for that choice. I believe that to be human rights, the right for privacy.
AJ,
Really good question. Um, and I probably got 100 answers for it, but
indeed.
the one I'm going to go with is let's go back to what you said about Solana. It was a different time, a different space. Um, the audience for cryptocurrency was a lot smaller than what it is today. It's getting bigger day by day. There's more tokens coming out every day, and the communities are getting more focused on specific niches, right? I mean, you could have a token tomorrow that is all about a community about black carpet, right? And I think as these new niche communities and projects get built, the presence of a doxed and real person is more and more important. Um, I see that especially in the meme space, right? It's a level of trust that is needed. I don't think so much in let's go back 5 years for Solana and Cardano and all those other tokens. They were never represented by somebody. It was represented by the community, the force and the power behind the utility, right? As opposed to memes, which we talked about stand for mostly nothing. You got to follow a leader, right? It doesn't mean that person is a leader. So yeah, I'm a big believer of
Yeah, they need
soft
someone to look
individuals.
up to. If it's just like an artist, even can be someone out of the community.
Yeah,
Doesn't even have to be the dev, like someone
absolutely.
important. But
And but I do think it's important for when projects are created, especially fair launch projects that have a doxed dev, that the dev is open to letting the community know this that the show should go on without them. I think it's really important. I make a point of saying this to my community when I talk to them. This is not the AJAY show. It's if I'm not here tomorrow, you guys have to have the ability to keep this community together.
very
And I
important
think
that they
it's
don't
for,
get lazy.
yes, and it's important for any dev for a project to instill that in their community and plan for somebody else taking over in the event that they get hit by a bus or whatever. Um, yeah, I just wanted
That's
to
key,
make
man.
that point.
Yeah.
I think projects really need to focus on look. Everyone always blames the dev, right? And sometimes it's not always the dev.
No, it's
It's
actually not.
community.
Sometimes the dev is back in the end
Right,
and just watching,
right.
doing nothing, waiting until he can maybe sell out. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And
Yeah, it happens.
and I found that in the last 4 weeks, I found as my community wants me to do more docs dev stuff, that really is in the spaces, right? Empowering them, letting them know what we're doing next. And the community steps up and they are actually doing a lot of the hard work. They don't realize it, but they are doing the hard work because they bought into that vision, that what that project is about. And to me, that's what makes a community, right? The dev is there, but it's the people behind who really know what's going on. They're the ones in the trenches, you know?
Absolutely, man.
I just want to add that we shouldn't see meme coins as at all as with all the seriousness in the world. We should see them for what they were meant to be, and that is for the fun.
Yeah.
And making that a mandatory for a project's success, not being around the fun, but being about the docs and the things. I cannot fully agree with it. I mean, we have artists like Pac, which we don't know they truly are. We have artists like Banksy in Web 2 that we don't truly know they are, and it's still fun and still very well successful. So there's still space and there's still uh, that little bridge for people that can be doxxed and still make it work. If it's the end project, it's still something that is fun and that can create and generate a community all around it.
And that's lore as well. Like not knowing who the founder is exactly, or there's some mystique around it. I think that builds into the lore as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like saying back.
It's so nice that you say that because it's bringing back to the point how I started the whole
Yeah.
program talking about meme lore here because I want to keep myself busy with something. If you don't have any lore on the coin or like any pictures or anything, what the fuck do I do with it? Would I even made this if I wouldn't have like great created NFTs which are celebrated as little creatures? No, it wouldn't. So
The
this is
likelihood of a project crashing or being rugged back then was less than it is
yeah,
today as well.
yeah.
Which is, you know, the balance of power shifts, right? It's I think people expect that now. They want to see that they have something they can hold on to.
Definitely.
Preach.
So I don't want you now to clap because this fucker here is sleeping. And and I want you all to clap so fucking loud right now that he's gonna wake up. One, two, three. Dumpster, wakey, wakey. So he's awake. He pretends to not hear anything. It took him actually some time to wake up,
You're
but
that interesting, huh?
thank you very much for the big applause. It was not just meant for here, literally to beat up this man. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank
If
you.
you bring some questions back to your community. Maybe look for, is there maybe even language in my coin? Can I use something? Think about it and explore it, use it on the timeline. Because if you do that, people will have questions. They want to find out why do the fuck talk they like that. So thank you for being here.
Thank you
And
for
I
having me.
wish you still great fun in the next panel.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Appreciate it. And for anyone that hasn't scanned the QR code on the shitcoin banner, please do so. I'm not asking you to buy, I'm asking you to check out our community. It really is a lot of fun. Come in for the shits and giggles.
On that note, we're handing out $1,000 for the QR code on SSR. Sorry, dude, I don't want to overshadow you like or anything like that. Like if you see any SSR QR code, it doesn't say in the QR code, but it's $1,000 in there. So it's just like it's two or three clicks. Yeah, get in there, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you, Vamps. And it's all gravy, baby.